how we might, as a group, better market lamb. And some interesting stuff here. You know, we need to remind ourselves that what these numbers are is kilograms per head per year. So, yeah, pretty scary. So UK, of course, is our #1 market. It takes 25% of all our lamb. 27 kilograms of chicken compared with 6 of sheep meat, and then of course that's high in Europe, very high. Germany is our #2 market in Europe, and they're only 1 kilogram of, and that's largely lamb, sheep meat per person per year. So in New Zealand, I think our lamb production is about 24 kilos per head per year at the moment. So huge scope for changing things along in Europe. I talked about that, the fact that it's largely seen as an old person's meat at this stage. It's expensive. We've had Mr. Stern stirring things up. Things are improving. This is what I touched on with the American situation. I guess it's healthy, lean, tasty. We were reminded at the conference too, I hadn't realised, 1 in 4 of the world's population is now Muslim. Muslims, of course, don't eat pork, and most of them know a fair bit about sheep meat. So, huge opportunity, as well as the younger ones. So, there's a push, I guess, to, and perhaps some optimism that there is a good future with looking at new consumer groups. Rest of those conclusions, international corporation. Yeah, this was a pretty big one. Let's put these ones up. There was a lot of pretty good feeling, I guess, that came out towards the end of the meeting about the fact that we all realised we were in strife. The only way to move forward was together, and it was a case of not one lamb producing country against another, but lamb against other protein sources, particularly white meat. So I think we can move forward on a number of those issues. What we finished up with, and this always sounds pretty dangerous stuff, of course, you know, we've got a few task force lately, but we were very keen all throughout, and we had, as well as the chair of every session, a raconteur, and the job of the raconteur was to try and make certain that some meaningful outcomes came from every session. And what we finished up with, we have set up an international lamb meat task force, and there was pretty dangerous things, I guess, is what they do. And that was really a starting point for promoting cooperation amongst those 20 countries, particularly on the one where we had real success was the climate change one, because every single country there admitted that the sheep meat industry's got to be seen to be doing something. So it was something that New Zealand took the lead on, and hopefully with our global alliance that Minister Grosser and John Key have referred to, and others, we can show some real leadership on that one. And there's a real sense I got there that we need to be doing something on this climate change. As I say, the Europeans don't really want us there. If we can give them some help and some assistance on something we know a fair bit about, big help. Now here's a couple of photographs. I haven't got Mike with his crew in this particular one. This was the Anuga. Just so we wrapped up that conference, then we grabbed a car and drove from Brussels through to Anuga in Cologne in Germany. So this was just on the first morning. This is at Anuga. Massive, great. Has anyone here been to the Anuga food fair? You haven't? No, just mind blowing. You know, I thought Mystery Creek couldn't happen. It was pretty big, but just massive hall just with meat, and then there's another one with kitchen items, and there's another one with energy drinks, and just massive miles. But this was at Silverfern Farm. They had a good setup, Rob, up there. A lot of staff. Obviously, Ian was there as well as Keith, one of the senior managers. These three here, just so you know, those three people, of course, you guys pay for. Anne Berryman here, she's regional manager based in Brussels, and her offside at Kate Jamison. I've got to say, great staff, and I was encouraged that those guys are working on behalf of me and you guys up there in Europe. So I'm doing a good job. Out to the right is, and again, this shows to me a bit of, a bit of advancement in the meat industry. That's Sharon Angus. She's marketing manager for. So was she there when you were there, Rob? Yeah. That's right, yeah. And a couple of things I thought were quite interesting. One, that her surname was Angus, so we gave it a hard time for that. Very appropriate that she's marketing red meat. But more so from the fact that she came from Fonterra. So she was previously marketing manager for the cheese division for Fonterra. So I thought that was a bit of a win for the sheep industry, to get somebody of reasonable clout, I think, from Fonterra. So she was good. So the usual stuff with New Zealand, going corn, and there's pictures of green grass and blue sky and bush. And a point that Mike made yesterday, which did really impact me, was that I had to walk miles, and it took me hours to find, because I was intent on finding obviously silver fern farms here, and then I found alliance about 3 miles in the other direction, and then AFCO was another haul entirely, and I happened to be walking past one little bin of meat, and I saw this brand called Maori Lakes, and I had never heard of it. So of course I pulled it out and turned it around, it was Ansco. So yeah, no organisation, no collaboration, just totally, disorganised in some way, people doing their own stuff. This is the Silver Fern Farms new packaging, pretty fancy stuff. Got the picture here of the meat, the heavy photographics and all the directions and putting instructions on the back. So that was good, and I wish them the best of luck. So that's the sort of stuff that's going into Marche and another couple of supermarkets over there, sitting on the shelves here of one of our local supermarkets in a week. And you'll see some publicity around that. This was touched on last night. This is an example of the Australians. The Australians have a quota into Europe of 18,000 tonnes. Our quota, as we've talked, 227,854 tonnes. They can organise this, we can't organise any sort of coordination. So that's a bit of a shame. But that again comes back to how much we want to support meat and wool, because I guess they have to either that or all consolidate the meat industry that sort of gets exactly together. But Australians were there pushing pretty hard. Pure South, that was in the Carrefour supermarket. Yeah, those supermarkets. You went to one of those, didn't you? You went to Carrefour. Yeah, we walked about 3 miles down over massive places, and the meat area is huge. And then we all split up because there was Mike, Kate, and we had a Frenchman with us, and Barry was still with us, and it took us a long time to find the New Zealand store. And this was just a little wee, it hasn't come up very well, the photograph here, but this, just here to there, tiny little was the only New Zealand meat in the whole supermarket. And what really concerned me is when I converted the euro equivalent of those frozen legs of lamb through to New Zealand currency, and then when I visited just last week, Packers over Napier, I could buy a leg of lamb, but it was fresh here in New Zealand, cheaper. Sorry, but it was a lot more expensive in New Zealand. I could buy cheaper in France. So, I was just thinking, how the hell does that happen? Going overseas and doing all the stuff that you got to do. So,
what was the price per kilo for the frozen leg?
Over there, the total New Zealand equivalent cost was $18 for those. Some of them were old, some of them we worked out between us were probably they'd been sitting around for 18 months by the date stamp, so whether they'd been sitting in storage. Admittedly, I must admit, this company wasn't as bad. There's another company's legs we saw in another supermarket that were very old. Yeah, the price for a fresh leg in New Zealand, that price was $34. So somebody's having somebody on. That's a bit more presentation. That's New Zealand lamb. A shank, yeah, and that was just bulk product that was going in, and we spent half a day with a fellow by the name of Emmanuel Costa, and he sort of Mr. Sheep Meat in Europe largely, and he owns a number of processing plants as well as farms. So he was very